Aputure is a household brand name that everyone loves, whether you're an indie professional, whether you're a YouTuber or just a hobbyist. But did you know that they have these awesome tube lights that nobody seems to mention anywhere? Well, I'm here to tell you all about them. Welcome to the TohirT channel. My name is Tahir and today we're talking Aputure, we're talking these tube lights, we're talking some of the other products. It happens to be my 200th video on this channel. It's pretty awesome to talk about this company and their products on this kind of a milestone. Well, time to talk Aputure lights. Let's do this! Aputure company has been founded by two high school friends in China who realized it's freaking expensive to be a creator, especially if you want to buy really good lights. So they slowly tried to create additional equipment for the creators on a budget. And well, almost like 20 years later, multitude of different products, they arrived at a place where every creator, whether you're big or small, eventually lands on purchasing one of the Aputure products and they fall in love with the entire product line right away. I was especially excited to make this video because I've been hunting for the tube lights like this forever. But everyone who you would ask would recommend you the Nanlite Pavo tubes. And those are great products, don't get me wrong. But you cannot connect them all together with the rest of your system. You have to set up either some sort of like a quirky separate Wi-Fi network for them to connect to each other, or you have to use those manual tumblers and adjusters on the tube itself to get the light, where I need something that I walk into the studio, press a couple of buttons on my iPad, and all the lights are on, they're all synced, I can pick whatever the colors I want and whatever effects I would like to use in that video. At this point in the video, also worth mentioning that I'm not paid by Aputure, they did not provide me any of my equipment. I bought every single light that I have from them on my own dime. Two 120Ds Marks II, four Aputure MCs, two B7Cs, and now finally I added these two P120s to my collection. Not many people talk about P120s because primarily they don't advertise them or talk too much about them. This product was quietly released in Asia and Oceania, so you can find it somewhere in China, you can find it in Australia or New Zealand. There's only one store that I found in Canada that sells these models. Aputure actually partnered with Quasar to create this product under the new lightning brand SGC Lightning, and they created two different SKUs for these tubes, so you get 120s and you get 60s, and from what I recall they're about to release 240s, which are twice the size of these tubes, which are already pretty long. I know it sucks that you cannot order these lights from like B&H or Adorama, but sgclightning.com, and I'll link their website down below. It's very easy, straightforward website, not that many products on it. You just go ahead, place the order, it's very seamless. I actually happened to also chat with their support group, which was immediate almost on the response. Kind of crazy, but I love the fact that they answered all the questions that I had about the product. And yes, you order it directly from Hong Kong, but it took only about a week, maybe 8 days for the lights to arrive to the Westchester County here in New York State, and they arrived in perfect shape, two elongated boxes with the SGC, Quasar and Aputure logos on the box. Once you open the package, inside you get obviously the tube lights, the two batteries that are currently inside of these tube lights, as well as the chargers and the mounting bracket. The mounting bracket allows you to position the lights horizontally, vertically, and at 45-degree angle. The battery will run you about an hour and a half, and the charging port comes with this nice locking mechanism. When it comes to the settings, on one of the ends of the tube, you will find 4 buttons and a screen, and essentially you can switch through menus pretty effortlessly. I actually found the menu system to be pretty straightforward and easy to navigate, but honestly, I will not learn it because you have Sidus app, which we're going to talk about in a second. The build quality is great. They are surprisingly heavy for what they are. I think in part it is because of that battery inside the system, but also the build itself feels nice and sturdy, like they know that people will have to carry them around, put them on different sets. It's actually plastic that covers the light itself, so it gives you some freedom of, you know, bumping it here once or twice, but definitely be careful. It's a very precise and precious equipment that you do not want to damage, especially at the price that you pay per each one of these tubes. And well, I would love to show and demonstrate you the actual lighting system, but we're not going to do it here. For that, we're actually going to have to load the Sidus app itself. Sidus Link app was created by the same guys who created Aputure, and I love the fact that they got me lazy. I promise you I will not learn the schema for the controls on the P120s because the app makes it so easy to navigate the different settings that they carry. The app comes on Android platform, on the iPhone and the iPad. iPad is the only edition that will cost you an extra $10 if you want to get their professional version, and it's well worth it, controlling multitude of different lights, and you can connect up to 100 lights via Bluetooth mesh network on this app. The app carries so many different settings, half of them I'm not even sure what they're for, primarily because I'm not a lighting professional, but you can control the Kelvin temperature, you can control the kind of gels they are, and you can even match it to the other popular professional grade gels that people use. You can source match by essentially matching all the lights together to make sure they're all set at the same temperature. If you have RGB enabled lights like these tubes or MCs or B7Cs, well, you're in for a treat, because now you can color pick, you can select a very specific color, you can distribute that color across different lights. These things make it so easy to be in the environment, find that color that you really like, point your iPad or your phone at it, and that's it. Your device immediately syncs up to that color. The cherry on top are all the different effects that you can also trigger, whether it's individually for each one of the lights, like the fireworks, the police car, or you can again connect them all together and apply that single setting to all the lights at the same time. And Sidus Link is smart enough to distribute the effect across the different devices so that they don't all blink at the same frequency, at the same colors when they're mimicking the same effect. They actually start complementing each other. And that effect really blew my mind when I first saw it, because now I have almost a dozen devices from Aputure, and I can literally sync them all up, set an effect, and the entire scene will be fully under my control in the palm of my hand. Coming back to these tube lights, half of the reason why I purchased them was the fact that they're from the Aputure. The other half was the Sidus Link app. I still cannot believe that the equipment like this, with this kind of technology and the connectivity, comes at the price that I was able to get it. I genuinely feel like I'm getting a steal anytime I purchase another Aputure device and add it to my collection. And you can clearly tell that this is a brand created by the creators for the creators. They really cared, and they set out on their journey to make the professional grade equipment cheaper for the creators, and I think they fully accomplished it. And I get it, cheap or steal is really a point of view rather than the actual fact, because my original set of lights that I purchased for the first maybe 50 videos or so that I produced on this channel cost me like $100, so about the price of the Aputure MC. The quality was not there, but it was perfect to start. And that is why I don't necessarily think you should go ahead and right away invest like $400 into these lights, or like $700 into one of the 120Cs, or even more for the 300Cs. Start with something like an MC. MC costs you $90. If you can still find it in stock somewhere, it's a great light. It has their RGB functions, and it's a perfect introduction into the Aputure family. You can also go ahead and invest in their Amaran line of lights, especially their new 100Ds and 200Ds. Those lights, relatively inexpensive. I don't own them, but check out this Jotan Dan video he produced, as always. An amazing in-depth technical review of those lights, and it sounds like it's going to be a great addition into another Aputure family. I frankly actually thinking about adding one of those and using them as like one of my side lights behind me, just for the sake of improving the quality of my videos even further. And I really enjoy watching how supportive Aputure is of its creators. You can tell they want to invest in us, people who really try to create something new, try to take their videos to the next level, and they leverage the best tools possible. In this case, it's Aputure lights. I would love to get my hands on as many of their lights as possible, quite frankly. Of course, the budget is consideration, and I have to, pace myself. This was an investment, so we'll see. I'll let you know when the next time I'm buying the light. The other cool fact, just personally for me, and since it's 200th video, I can talk a little bit more about my channel. I came across Ted, an Indie Mogul channel, and really enjoyed watching it for quite a while now. And this is the channel where I saw an interview with Steve Gerald, this guy who produced these amazing commercials. And that video led me to creating my own video about Steve Gerald that later led me to actually interviewing Steve Gerald on this channel and investing into his Kickstarter. Just like, what? Like, this is to the extent by which Aputure really engages with the audience and keeps us all almost like in that atmosphere and exposes us to other amazing creators. Since they're not stopping, they want to keep pushing the envelope, and they keep creating the lights that really change my opinion on what it is to create a budget-friendly product, yet reaching for the highest quality possible, because at the end of the day, if you want to take over the market, you want to both hit the budget mark as well as create some outstanding value. And Aputure 120s, in this case, I think they're outstanding value and well worth your investment. Clearly I'm biased, I know, listen, but can you blame me? Did you know Aputure has their own tube lights? Are you excited about the fact that they continue to push the envelope? And what are other companies that are by creators, for the creators, trying to push the envelope and help us all create better content every single day? Well, share your thoughts and ideas in the links in the section below. I love the fact that this is my 200th video. It's a lot of fun. It's been a long journey. I'll probably talk a little bit more about the entire journey up to now in one of the future videos or somewhere. I don't know, not making too big of a deal about it. I'm also excited about the fact that SGC Lightning and the P120s is actually a thing. As I said, I'll link them down below. Go check them out. Easy to order, easy to get them shipped to the United States, well worthy of an investment. I'm for sure excited to see what Aputure is up to next. And well, if you're curious to learn more about me, about some of the other cool things that I'm talking about, the creators, the economy, other different technology and different things that I'm passionate about, well, I'm here every Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share this video with the friends. Here are a couple of other videos for you to enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.